How you doing, Mike? You did get the PDFs, no? Hello, Mike. How you doing? Testing. One, two, test. Mike. Can you hear me, guys? You should have the PDFs. And what we're going to do, we're going to work on three different patterns. The 3/4 ostinato pattern with the bass drum on the count of 1, the hi-hat on the count of 2, and on the count of 3, there's no bottom. There's nothing, no bass drum. So the ostinato is the bass drum and hi-hat, and then resting on 3. I'll play that. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the first ostinato. Now, for those who don't know and who's going to be watching, the ostinato 3/4 means there's 3 beats to a measure. Each quarter note receives 1 count or 1 beat. So if I was playing on one surface quarter notes in 3/4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, if I add the bass drum and the hi-hat to develop the ostinato, 1, 2, 3, 1, and I play it on top, quarter notes, alternating the sticks. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bop. That's the basic ostinato pattern. Now, I locked it in on the snare drum. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you learn how to play that for a while. Feel comfortable with it. Move it around. Get it going on. 1, and then move it around. 1, 2, with quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Be creative. You like that, guys? So I'm going to play it up now. I'm going to play some quarter notes. Then I'm going to play eighth notes. Well, they're not eighth notes. Yeah, they're eighth notes. I'm going to be playing the first one once in a while. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Then I'm going to add eighth notes. So I established the quarter note and the eighth note. Eighth. Now I'm going to add eighth note triplets. This is going to be going on and on. 1, 2, 3. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Bop. Now, when I'm playing the eighth notes, I'm playing alternate strokes. I could change that to doubles. Sorry. Or paradiddle-diddles. Now moving it around somewhat, I'm being a little bit creative. I'm not just being restricted to the snare drum. So, how you doing, Michael? So, Mike rather, what we're doing now is just the quarter notes, eighth notes, and the triplets. You got to take a tempo where you feel comfortable. Say that right now, from the quarter notes to the eighth notes to the triplet has the most notes to the downbeat. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 1. So work 1, 2 measures, quarter notes, 1, 2 measures, eighth notes, 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 measures of eighth note triplets, or do variables. I was working on before a reading sheet in 3/4 because we're going to read the sheet and we're going to play the ostinato pattern while we're reading the sheet in 3/4. Now, it has nothing to do with fusion or rock or jazz or whatever. It has to do with you and your drums and your coordination and your ability to control your limbs. That's what it's all about. So I've been working on that this afternoon. Tomorrow, if I finish it, I'll give it to you tomorrow or Friday, and we'll come back to this next week one day. Learn how to read it on one surface. Very simple reading in 3/4. Okay? Now, I did the quarter notes, the eighth notes, and the eighth note triplets. The next guy is the 16th notes. So what we're doing, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Now let me slow that down. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. Okay, now I'm just again on a snare drum. I can go. We're not doing any phrasing, just to understand. Where did Mike go? You can hear me, Mike? Mike, can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2, test. I hear over here you just put in there you can't hear me. Everything is on. I'm not using a switcher, I'm combining it. So now we have quarter notes, eighth note triplets, and 16ths. Okay, now, what we got going on, all right, is the next guy is the grouping of 5, quintuplets, to the quarter note. That's not easy. That's hard. So you got to get 5 strokes, and I suggest you going back to the table of time, doing say from the groupings of 1 to groupings of 6, and we're working the ostinato. How you doing, Ross? And we're working the ostinato pattern with that. So the grouping of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let me do it again for you. So you do a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're getting 5 equalized strokes in between the downbeats. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's not easy, that's pretty hard. And it's going to be good for your timing and your hands and your coordination. Do you understand the groupings of 5? Mike, Michael, Paul, and Ross? Do we all understand that? Where did Paul go? Paul keeps getting booted. Paul, you here? Who's not here? Oh, all right, Paul's here. Okay? That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Do you understand the grouping of 5s? You got to hit the drum pad and put the metronome on to get the 5s going on. Okay? The next grouping is the grouping of 6. That's not easy, so we're going to let them go for now, the 5s and 6s. We're going to stay with the quarter notes, the eighth notes, the 8th note triplets, and the 16th notes. And I want you to move it around and give me some variables. For example, here's quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Little pause. Establish the ostinato. Do 8th notes. And triplets. I'll be right with you, Paul. 16th. Okay, Paul, you're exposing yourself here. How do you count the 5s? I've given everybody the table of time from the Joe Morello book. On the first line of the Joe Morello book, table of time, you have quarter notes. The second line, you have quarter note triplets. The third line, you have 8th notes. The fourth line, you have 8th note triplets. The fifth line, you have 16th notes. And the sixth line, you have groupings of 5. Now, you have a pulse. You have the metronome going on. And you're going to play 5s. The way I play 16th notes, I'm going to play that on the hi-hat for you so you can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, I don't count 6. I go 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And let me do that on here. I'm going to play the bass drum on the count of the first group, the first note of the grouping. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. If I play 16ths, 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. If I play triplets, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. Now, notice my bass drum was on 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 strokes equal to the downbeat. When I played the 16ths. When I played the 8th note triplet, I got 3 notes equal to the downbeat. Now, I'm going to play, and when I played the 6s, I got 6 strokes equal to the downbeat. Now, the same thing applies to the 5. In between the downbeats, you need to hit 5 strokes equal. That's why you need the metronome to do this. So, without the metronome, I'm going to play the bass drum on the first stroke of each 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we're on YouTube tonight because my site is being worked on. Hopefully, it'll be totally completed by tomorrow morning when I wake up because my tech guy is in California. I will be making videos, okay, for the member section and for purchase. You don't have to purchase any videos because what I'm going to be doing, the videos I'm going to be making for purchase, I'm going to put them in the student room as well. So as a member, you could access them. And if you're not a member and you wanted to buy it, then you have to go to instructional videos and pay for it. So you're going to get the same thing. Now, do you understand how to count the fives? What I'm going to do, Paul, let me see if I can get no, the metronome's not working right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play the table of time. I'm going to play the first line, which is quarter notes, the second line, quarter note triplets, then eighth notes, then triplets, then sixteenths, then the grouping of five to the grouping of six. Listen to my bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Eighth note. Triplets. 16th. 5, 6. Back. 2, 3, 4. Now you should have that down. You should have been playing that, okay, on the drum pad for a while. It's part of a warm-up exercise. I am going to be putting a warm-up routine on video so that if you go with that warm-up, you'll be fine. I mean, it's kind of boring to warm up a little bit. You just can't work all day, come home, say give me my drums and start blasting and playing. You'll hurt yourself. You want to be a musician. You want to play musical. That's the fives. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when I do play or fool around with the 3/4 ostinato, I seldom use the fives and I seldom use the sixes, depending on how loose my hands are. But I like to have some fun. I like to be creative. I'll sit here and put the timer on for 10 minutes and play that pattern for 10 minutes. And, I can't be playing the same thing over and over again. So I become a little bit creative. I say, oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. And once I get a few variables, then I'll start phrasing. Let me phrase a few things, and you'll see what I mean or hear what I mean when I say phrasing. In 3/4. 1. That's what I'm phrasing. I'm doing 2 or 3 times the same thing, but moving it around somewhat on the toms or different voices. Now that takes care of for a while. I don't want to overwhelm you because it's a lot of work, but it's also a tremendous amount of fun, and it's extremely helpful because now you're controlling the bottom and you're playing against the bottom constantly. And you want to try to use a metronome. You want to put a metronome, say on 60. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you have a sound system, put it through the sound system. You don't have a sound system, get earplugs, or headphones rather, and put them through the headphones. Now the second ostinato, I don't want to spend too much time on it. The second ostinato in 6/8. Now, the first ostinato, let's go back to that for a second. That was inspired by one of my heroes, Max Roach. It's iconic in the drum world. The drums also waltz. And I loved the song. And I used to play to that and play to that and play to that. And, I don't want to do exactly what Max Roach does. I wanted to play that, my rendition. Also, Bill Buford did a rendition of that. But he did it on an electronic kit. So I kind of got inspired by that, just hanging out, but it was so helpful. It helped me control my limbs, my coordination, and it stimulated my creativity. Now, I didn't create that. I didn't steal it. I loved it, and I worked with it. So nobody really owns something like that. Now, my next ostinato in 6/8 is a variation of another one of my heroes, Terry Bozzio. Now, Terry Bozzio played this particular pattern a little different than what I'm doing, but it gave me something to create from. The Terry Bozzio video is the ostinato pattern that I watched all the time. He was playing in 6/8. He's 1, 2, you go 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, how was he doing that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. That's in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, what I'm doing with that is sort of the same thing. I'm in 6/8. Excuse me. I got to get rid of this cold. I'm in 6/8. I'm playing my bass drum, hi-hat, bass drum. That takes care of 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Now I have 4, 5, 6. 6 beats to the measure. Each eighth note receives 1 count or 1 beat. Here we go. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1. It's written down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. And I'll keep going on. And I gave you that pattern, the similar patterns, the eighth notes, or actually the 16ths in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. The next line is the eighth with the 16ths. I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Now, that particular 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and I'm using singles. I could use doubles, or I could use paradiddle-diddles, or double paradiddles. Right now, just use singles. I'll do doubles. Or paradiddle-diddles. Okay? Then you have the triplets. Hold on. Then these are 30 seconds coming up. Now you're not going to just sit down and play it. For example, you're doing it 30 seconds. It's just 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the... Okay? Now, we're going to have a lot of fun with a variety of ostinatos. That's just 2, very simple ostinatos, but it's a lot of hard work because you're not accustomed to it. So what we're going to do now, okay, we're going to go to the next pattern, which is 5/4. Now, again, I was inspired by my main hero here, Joe Morello. His take 5, bump ba dump doom bump, which is an ostinato. That pattern, jung ka dunk he plays that all. The take 5's tune is predicated off that ostinato pattern. So I like to play in 5. It's kind of weird, but it's beautiful. So I combined the foot pattern. 5/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now on this particular one, I mean, you got a lot here. I mean, if you could just play quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just do quarter notes. You want to journey off to the eighth notes, do that. That is a tremendous amount of ostinatos you can make up. And there's a lot of controversy going on about clave and ostinato, the definitions. And it gets a little confusing. You know, the sewn clave, there's three of them. There's the 3-2, the 2-3, and the rumba clave. Now, clave in definition, in terms of if somebody says, what does clave mean? Well, it's the key. It's the rhythmic pattern that the band plays from. It's a constant pattern. One in. So here's where the controversy comes in. I'm going to think that, play that, off of that, but is that not an ostinato as well? Or half of that, the bayon. That's also an ostinato, but it's a bayon. So the definitions kind of crisscross and get a little mixed up. So you go with the flow, say, okay, the sewn clave, there's 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, and the rumba clave. Then you label this as the bayon, the samba pattern, you know, whatever you want to do. I like to play off the claves. I like to play off the bayon. We're not going to get into that tonight, but they're there. We're going to work on them slowly. Deal with this first, all right? I will write out a lot of different things to do if you like this stuff against these patterns. And like I said, you know, you don't go on a gig and play a James Brown tune using that. That's not what it's for. It's for you. You're establishing something. You're being creative. It's your zone to go into to create. Does everybody understand what I'm saying here or no? Knocky knock. Okay. Good, Mike. It's an element of time, and it don't happen overnight. It's an enjoyable thing kind of to practice. We're going to do the stick control book against this. You see, well, how's he going to do the stick control book against it? You'll see. Surprise. Okay. Now, next week, one day, we'll touch on some linear concepts. And I'll just give you an example. These are linear exercises to develop linear patterns. And I believe I might have given way back a lesson like this, where we're taking, for example, the first line of stick control book, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, in eighth notes. And what we're doing, if I was playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I said, okay, we're gonna think of it in 16th notes, but we're still gonna play what's there on top, but we're gonna fill in the E and the da with the bass drum. And the hi-hat's gonna be, this is difficult. The hi-hat's unusual and it's weird. And we're gonna play the hi-hat on 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you have, we're going to do the whole stick control book down like that. All right, that takes a long time to do. So I'm just giving you some insight on what's to come. And I will be making videos of the lessons. You're not going to hear me say anything in the video that you're going to see. Mike, can you hear me? Paul, do you understand? That kind of thing. I'm going to do it slow, step by step by step. Okay, gentlemen? Is there anything, Mike, is there something that you don't follow that you'd like me to go over? And Paul and Michael and Ross, you're still here, I hope. And whoever is not in the chat, hello. I really wish somebody would come forward who's in the chat. That's one, two, three, four. There's three people watching this that are not in the chat. Can you come forward in the chat and say, yo, hello, how we doing? I have a question, I have a problem. Say something. That's what this is for. If anybody wants the PDFs, here's my email. Okay, Paul, you follow. Now, for the people who are just watching and they're not in the chat, I don't know if you on a phone you can get into a chat or not. But if you want the PDFs that you're not in the chat, and if you want the PDFs, oh, okay. I don't know how to pronounce that. Emo, Shalias, Shilis. I'm sorry, I apologize. But if you'd like the PDF, email me and I'll send you the PDFs. Now, the only reason why I used to do a couple days a week on YouTube, but I'm not going to be doing too much of that. Yeah, you can. Okay. What I'm going to be doing, I mean, occasionally, the only reason why I did the last two lessons on YouTube is, like I said before, there's work being done on my site, so I don't want to create any problems with the site, so I'm doing this. Hopefully Monday we'll be back on the site. I will notify everybody. It should be done. It better be done. I need to make a lot of videos. So, is that how you pronounce your name? I don't know how to pronounce that. I do apologize, sir. Amo, is that it? I'm not certain. And thank you for appreciating. I appreciate you being here. I mean, it's just a drummer community, and we all having a good time, asking questions and helping each other out. If you want to go visit my site, you could sign the guest book at least. Emo. Is that okay? Listen, go to the site. Where are you from, Emo? Go to the site and check it out. There's a little bit of work being done tonight, but you still go on it. Sign the guest book. Emo. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. You have any questions? If you have any questions, I hope I could answer them for you. Brooklyn. Whoa, you're close by. I'm in New Jersey, and we have a few guys from Pennsylvania, another guy from New Jersey, from Maryland, from Chicago, from Washington, from Australia, from Maryland, Delaware. That's nice. The people from all around the world can come up and see it. So go, Emo, go and sign the guest book tonight. Email me. I will put you on my mailing list, and you'll get the PDFs. I'm assuming you do know how to read. If not, you will learn how to read if you hang out with us. Okay, gentlemen. I need to get a little bit of dinner, some cold medicine, and a good night's sleep. And when I wake up tomorrow morning and go onto my site, it should be all done, I hope. If not, I'm going to be upset. But there will be videos being made for the members. You'll be able to access them. And for the non-members, if you'd like to purchase the videos, you can purchase the videos. Mike, you take care, Mike. And if how you making out with your tuning your drums? Are you all right with that? I don't have a video on tuning drums. I think there might be one or two or three of them on YouTube. Okay, Paul, Ross, Michael, Mike, and Iman, and whoever else, have a good night, and we should be back. It's not homework. It's fun work. It's just nice. It's just have a good time with it. Enjoy, learn, and grow. Okay, so next time we come to a site, to a broadcast, I'm planning on broadcasting from my site Monday. But if anything else, if I'm not on the site, I'll be here. Okay, guys? Ross, Michael, Bing, and Bong, all that. You're a mean teacher, Paul. Okay. Time's up. I have to go eat. Iman, you're welcome. And don't be a stranger. Okay, here we go.